So welcome everyone and welcome to Shakti Flow. Just checking to make sure everybody's muted. So let's take a comfortable seat. Close the eyes. And take a nice deep breath. Let yourself settle. Notice what's present. And I like to remind people that maybe there's nothing present and that's completely fine. That's a neutral territory. The yogis might call that harmony or balance, not being pulled one way or the other. For the last couple of weeks, I've been talking a lot about happiness and joy and how those emotions and those feelings are a choice. And recently I was reminded that there is research and science behind emotions, and we actually have molecules of emotions within our body. And when these molecules of emotions release certain chemistry or hormones based on our feelings, based on what kind of information it's getting, we can either feel really great or we can feel not so great. And there's actually science to show that this is a thing. So when we can think of bring something into our mind's eye of something that brings us joy, like I was just talking to Sharon earlier about the ponies on the Assateague State Park beach and how they're all over, that just brings me joy to think about that. And the minute that my body feels that, there's a slight release. It's not great, but it's a slight release of um, a feel-good hormone like oxytocin. And if you've ever laughed really, really hard, you'll feel this. Or if you looked into a baby's face, early brand new baby's face. And so the opposite can be true, right? We can see something on the television, we can hear something, we can experience something that can be really negative and hard. And we release these hormones, more commonly known as cortisol, but there's lots of other ones that go along. And we don't feel good. And that's where it comes back to it's a choice. And so while we're practicing today, let's see if we can hold this idea of happiness and joy. You get to be on the mat. We get to be here together and experience moving our bodies. And so bringing your hands together, holding any of that, and maybe anything that you need this morning, and allow the class and the experience to be exactly what you need. Take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, let go of the hand, softly open the eyes. All right, so we're gonna lie down on our backs. We're gonna do a couple of flossing moves first before we get moving. So go ahead and lie down. And bend your knees. And just take a moment here before we get moving. In fact, rather than bending your knees, put your legs all the way down. And just allow yourself to be here for a second to check in. Noticing any of the obvious things that you're aware of, like maybe your hips feel funky, or your stomach is hungry, or whatever it is, you might feel a little tired. And just become aware of any of that, obvious and subtle. And as we move around today, we might notice there's a shift that happens because the body loves to move in whatever capacity we do it in. So go ahead and bend your knees. So this is our first flossing move. I want you to cross your left ankle over your right knee. So very familiar action. But I want you to push your ankle into your knee to feel this bent leg, outer leg activate. Now, I don't want you to do it super hard. I just want you to do it enough so you can feel it. While you're doing that, I want you to lift up your right leg towards your body. Don't use your hands. When you get to the end range, relax everything and rest. Push ankle into knee, lift right foot off the floor towards your body, and then relax. Push, pull, and then relax. Now, we haven't done this in a while. This action is working around the piriformis and the outer hip, helping things to get a little lubricated. And the pushing is really important. So don't push again really hard, because you'll just make everything too hard, but enough so that you feel it's happening. Now you're working this right leg hip flexor at the same time. So if you're getting tired there, that's why. Let's do one more. Push, lift, and then rest. Good. Switch your legs. Same thing on this side. Push your ankle into your knee. You'll feel the leg get activated, and then lift your left foot up and draw it towards your chest. Find that end range where you're getting that sensation, and then let everything rest. Push, lift, and then rest. Push, lift, and rest. And you might notice that there's real difference between right and left side. Try not to attach yourself to any story around it, just notice and be curious. So the intention of curiosity shifts any kind of investigation from concern, like, oh my, I feel that in my body and I don't know if it's a good thing. That's concern. That's not happy and joy. Curious creates that light-hearted, like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder how my body's going to like that. Good. One more time. And then that helps us to stay in that light energy. Good. Relax. Now put your legs all the way down. Put your arms down again. Just pause here in the middle. And if you're like me, you've got more energy around your hips. You can feel that your hips were moving and doing something. And they may feel more relaxed or more open. All right, now turn over onto your belly. We're going to do one more. And so what I'd like you to do is bring yourself down onto the floor so that you're resting on your hands, resting your head on your hands. Feet can be a little wider apart if that's comfortable. Turn your toes under. And now the activation here is to push through your feet to lift the knees at the same time you lift your head and your shoulders. Keep your arms in place. And then when you get to your end range, relax your legs, relax your head. Push through your legs, lifting. And as you lift your head, your back body really activates. When you push through your legs and the back glutes activate. And so you're inhaling when you go up, you're exhaling when you come down. Try to not worry about how high you go. And if you feel like, I'm not getting anything, there's not a whole lot I'm feeling, just bring your hands closer together towards your elbows. Prop yourself up a little higher. This sensation can be felt a lot in the belly, maybe around the front of the hips or maybe around the chest. And so the activation here is pushing the legs and then lifting the head. Let's do one more and then we're going to stay. So I want you to lift yourself up and stay here. And you may or may not be at your highest point. I don't care about that. Push through your legs, really engage your glutes, lift your belly, lift your chest. So really get yourself going here. Take one more breath. And then exhale, let it go. Now bring your hands next to you, push yourself up away from the floor. And then we'll come to tabletop here. So toes are turned under, hands underneath shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And let's take a breath, lifting tailbone, heart, and eyes. And then flip your feet, exhale, tailbone and head down, rounding spine. So just letting go of any of that other action that you were feeling. Let the body start to move freely. Breathing as you inhale, arcing spine, as you exhale, rounding spine. And then find yourself in the middle somewhere and walk your hands forward about a good hand distance ahead. So turn your toes under. You're going to inhale here, and as you exhale, I want you to reach your hips back as you drop your elbows down. So it's a little bit of a more active child's pose kind of thing. And as you inhale, kind of peel yourself back up so that your arms are straight. Elbows down as hips go back, working on lengthening the side body around the thoracic spine. Inhale, lifting up, and if you want, you can shift your weight forward. Back, elbows down, hips go back, and forward. And just watch your own line of movement here. The elbows want to stay straight in line with the wrists, not wing out to the sides. And if you're coming forward, you're moving into a little bit of a plank-like pose, starting to warm up the arms and the shoulders. Good, let's do two more like that. So hips go back, elbows go down, and we pause at the end there, and then inhale back up. All right, now stay here. Your body weights forward a little bit. Lift your belly and drop your elbows so they're straight down. And when you get down here, you want your shoulders and your elbows on top of each other. And then push yourself straight up. And lower yourself straight down. And push yourself straight up. Pressing into all 5 fingers on each hand equally. Really kind of grip, especially your thumb and your first finger. Can you keep your elbows gliding in that same way? Pressing and releasing down. So right away, we're getting into upper body movement, upper body work. One more time, lower down, and then push yourself up and come back to table. All right, in neutral, right leg goes back, left fingers reach forward, lift both hand and foot off the floor, floating in bird dog, noticing your stability or not, using your left leg and your right hand. Exhale down, left leg back, right fingers forward, and then lift and float. Feeling and sensing into that balance on this side. Breathing. Good. And then release and come down. All right, turn your toes under, stay on your hands, and float your knees just off the floor. Drop your shoulders down your back, and then release. Take a breath. Exhale, strong arms, shoulders down your back, lift your knees. Inhale, come down. This last time we're going to stay up, so exhale, lift. And you notice everything turn on. Can you find your pelvic floor and your lower belly? Keep your knees bent and move towards the wall behind you in a bent-legged dog pose. Work on your length of your spine first. You're in a shorter stance here, so this is easier to bend your knees. And then maybe take one leg back a little farther and press that heel down, keeping your left leg forward. And really root down that right heel and maybe lifting up that right sit bone. And then take your feet the opposite position. So walk your one foot in, take the other foot back, and press that heel down. Keep working with your arms as you lift your sitting bones up, up, up. Good. And then if you want both feet back, Traditional dog pose, heels down, sitting bones up, spine long. Take one more breath here. And then take your feet wider on the mat. Start to walk your hands backwards so that you're in a wide-legged position. And then once you're on your feet, turn your feet a little bit open. Just a little bit, not a lot. And drop your hips down so that your knees are over your feet. And you might want to look, make sure they don't fall inward. You want to see a little arch in the bottom of your foot. And then from there, come up on your fingertips so your spine's nice and long. Dropping hips wherever is available to you, keeping your inner arches lifted. We're going to bring the hands up to the legs. And then on a third breath, I want you to keep your legs down. We're going to push up to standing. So take a breath. Exhale, belly in. Try to keep your chest open and in front of you. Take another breath. Exhale. This last time when we exhale, we stand. Push through your legs, push through your arms, stand all the way up, reach the arms up. And then hands together, feet together, come to Tadasana. All right. So warmed up a little bit. I want you to grab a block. And we're going to do a little standing series here. And then take one weight. Should have told you to do that before the block. And your weight can be whatever, light, heavy, whatever you feel like doing. We've already warmed up the whole upper body, so whatever you feel ready for. Feet are toward each other. I want your legs in a place where you can feel the squeeze or the hold of the block between you. All right, and so I'm going to be doing, excuse me, really small squats. You can go wherever you like. So we're going to sit down in a little squat. And remember, for me, I'm going to do it really little. And then I want you to push up and turn to your right. Arms go to the sky. Reach, 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 and push both feet really strongly into the floor. Exhale, come back to your squat. And then push and turn to your left. Reach up, reach up, reach up. Push into your legs. Inhale, come back to center. Do it again, nice and slow. Stay at the top for a moment. Really lengthen your arms as you press into your feet. And then release and come to center. And up. Other side, reach. So what I'm looking for here is that your feet stay really steady. Your legs hug the block. And you're trying to get longer through your side body and armpits. One more time. And if you're getting a lot of clickety-clackety in your back, that's actually not a bad thing. Come back to center and pause. Good. Second round. We're going to take the weight around the right side of the head, go behind the head, twist to the right, and then come back to center. Push your weight away and squat. Come back to center. Pull the shoulder blades together. Then go the other way. Around the head. Go behind your head if you can. Twist to the left. Center. Push away and squat. Pull with your shoulder blades, squeeze. Around. And twist. And push and squat. Pull with your shoulder blades. Around. And twist. And push. And pull. One more time each side. Go around the back of your head. Twist to that side. And then push it away and squat. Keep squeezing the block. Pull shoulder blades on your back. Last time. And twist. Push away and squat. Awesome. Good. Rest. All right, let's take the block away. And we're going to come into a staggered stance with one weight. So a staggered stance basically means you've got one foot in front of the other, and that you have the ability to lift off your back heel if you need to. All right, so this is, I want hips square, shoulders square, but your one foot's behind the other. And whatever leg is back is the weight that you have in your hand, that side. Okay, so standing sideways, I want you to bring the weight to your shoulder, bring it up over your head, Bring it back to your shoulder. Now bend your knees and reach across to the outer front of your knee. Come back to center, up, center, crisscross. And you might keep your heel, your back heel off the floor the whole time, or you might let it sit on the floor when you come back up to standing. It's your choice. And the way I'm using my weight is I've got it in a neutral position. I'm not turning my hand. I'm not trying to rotate my shoulder joint. And I want you to go to the outside of that front knee when you come down. My hand's on my lower back to remind me not to overwork. And last time, cross. Good. All right, take the weight to your chest, 2 hands, lift off your back leg, just enough so you've got it off the floor. Keep your front belly engaged as you maybe bend this back knee. Now I want you to imagine that your back foot is lifting up towards your head, and your head is lifting up and back towards your back foot. Breathe, and then release. Good. Other side, step back. Weight's now in the other hand. I'm going to leave my hand in my lower back. And so we take the weight from the down position on the arm to the shoulder, overhead, to the shoulder, and then bend and go to the outside of your knee. Stand, up, down, cross. Bend, up. So we're doing a little baby one-legged squat variation with a rotation. And it's not super hard, right? The weight you chose is not going to be something that's really hard. We are going to work up a little bit. Cross. And why am I crossing the body? Because it actually helps the right leg or the front leg glute fire a little bit more, so you're not hanging out in your lower back all the time. Let's do one more. And press down, cross, and then come to center. Hold the weight with both hands against your own chest. Shift into your front leg, lift off your back leg, and maybe bend the back knee. Flex your foot so you don't get a cramp. And think about lifting your chest up, eyes up, lifting your foot behind you. One-legged, funky dancer pose. One more breath. And then exhale, release, and come down. All right. Now I want you to go with a heavier weight. I'm going to stay with this one, but you can go to a heavier weight. We're going to do the same stance, different function, different movement. So you go back to your first side. This time I want you off your back heel. You're going to put all the weight in your front foot, I'm sorry. And you're going to let your weight hang straight down. Shoulders are on your back. So you're going to soften your front knee, keep your lower spine nice and neutral, and start to hinge now. This is different than what you just did. You're going to go to about where your back is parallel to your hip, not any lower, and then you're going to come up and squeeze, pushing your front leg glute forward. And then reach back with your hips. Think about your sitting bones going further back and up. The weight that you have in your hand should feel strong enough so that it's really doing the work you need. And for me, this is real super easy for me to hold this weight. But as I told you, I'm going easy. Now the trick here, let's do a couple more, is to not overbend this front leg. You're trying to think about that front leg staying more straight than not. And you go to a place where you get a little tug in your hamstring, but I don't want you to go lower than your own hip. Good. And then pause. Nice job. Switch your feet. So you're on the ball of your back foot. You're standing all the weight on your front. My hand's here to remind me. And I'm going to soften my front knee, but I don't want to bend my leg anymore. I'm going to hinge from my glute muscle in my hip. And then come straight up. And so you might want to look down and make sure that that weight is tracking straight down toward the floor and not towards your other foot or out to the side. That means that your hips are twisting. You want to keep your hips square. This is a harder version than just doing it two-legged, but it gives you good information about what side works and how it works versus the other side. And I don't know if you guys follow health and fitness stuff at all, but the new thing that's going on, aside of weighted vests and strength training, is being able to carry heavy things. So have you heard this farmer's walk thing? Yeah. And up. Good. Take a break. So if you were to pick up your two heaviest weights, whatever they are. So again, I'm going to go easy, but I have a pair of 10 pounds in here that I would normally pick up. These are my 6s. These are easy for me. And I just want you to think about if you were at the grocery store and the grocery store clerk overpacked your bags and you had to pick them up and carry them into your house. So most of us are not this clear. So you're going to stand in Tadasana, tailbone down, shoulders are on your back, core body engaged. You want to feel all that, and you want to feel your shoulders on your back not pulling you forward. And then from here, we're going to just lift a knee up and down and lift a knee up and down. So back and forth, and just notice your own pattern, keeping your arms and your legs engaged, or your arms and your upper body engaged. Whoop. So I travel to Florida a lot, as you know, and the people in Florida, I think, are trained to put like 1 or 2 things in a bag and then hand it to them because everybody there is really old. And you end up with 20 plastic bags. It's ridiculous. Here, go to Trader Joe's and the person puts 1,000 things in one bag. You can hardly pick it up. It's nutty how it's different, right? All right, take a break. So if you could do that easily, then you have to say to yourself, I need something heavier so I can practice this, because what it does is it helps you strengthen your hands and translates all the way up into your core body. And we could have just stood still and done that, but moving the legs makes it a whole body experience. Yeah. All right. So from here, separate your feet. Turn your hands so that they're around, facing outward. Elbows are stuck to your side body. You're going to curl the hands to the shoulders and then go back down. So you hopefully have a strong enough weight. Biceps are very strong. We use them all the time. And then I want you to think about your back being against a wall, an imaginary wall. And as we start to curl the arms up, not this one, but the next, you're going to start to slide your back down that imaginary wall. Ready? Slide and stand. And if your feet don't feel right, like maybe they're too close together or your knees aren't tracking properly, adjust your feet. Again, notice I'm not going really low, because if I go too low, I'll lean forward. I want to slide my back along this imaginary wall. Now, the next time we come down there, I want you to stay there. Remember how I was telling you before about lifting the arches of your feet? That's what I want you to do now. And then lower and lift. So your back is still against that imaginary wall. Tailbone's heavy, heart's light. Inner arches of your feet are lifting. You can activate that by lifting your big toes. And I want this to feel strong enough in your arms, like they're getting tired. Up. Good. One more time. And up. And release. Good. Come to standing. Relax your feet. Go ahead and take your weights down to the floor and come to the top of your mat. And once you're at the top of your mat, just pause for a minute, palms forward, tailbone heavy. And as you inhale, lift your arms up so that you're in Hastasana, arms over your head. Interlace your fingers or grab them like you're gonna knuckles to the ceiling. I want you to push into your feet, lift your arms, and then twist to the left. We did this earlier. Keep pressing into your feet, turning through the core body. Inhale, come to center, and exhale, twist to the right, pushing into both feet. Inhale to center, and then exhale, elbows back and in. Inhale, arms up. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, elbows back and in. And then when your hands come up again, palms together, bend your knees, come through chair, and come all the way to the floor, fingers on the floor. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen spine, lengthen legs. Exhale down, and step back into a full plank pose. Full plank pose. And we breathe. Remember, use your fingers well. Press through your arms, lift your belly, press through your legs. Breathe. Excuse me. And then let your knees drift to the floor. Walk your hands one hand distance forward. See if you can stay in this forward position now as you drop your elbows. And if your hips went backwards, wiggle your hands forward so that your hips don't move. Push, lower. So we're doing the same movement we did before, but a little harder. So if it feels too hard in this angled position, just move back until you're more in that tabletop and lower and push. It just takes the weight off your arms. It's like saying I'm going to do a 3-pound weight versus a 10-pound weight. 3-pound weights are great for range of motion, playing with tiny little muscles, but they don't do a lot for building muscular strength. You got to do a little bit of harder something or another. Good. Are your shoulders and elbows and wrists all still in the straight line? One more time. And then we're going to lower down and stay. Now from here, bring your knees underneath your hips if they were different. Keep your hands where they are. And I want you to pull back with your elbows. Don't move your hands, just imagine that. And then reach your hips back toward the wall behind you. Get to that end range and then inhale, come forward, come all the way over your hands. And then push into the floor, pull the elbows back and go gliding back again. So I snuck this other floss in here and up. Now what you might notice is as you're flossing backward, there's sensation in different parts of your body that you might not notice, like lower back or around your collarbones or around your shoulder blades. So it's a nice way to go, oh, I didn't know that was sticky. And inhaling, coming forward, and exhaling, gliding back, getting to that end range of motion, and then come one more time. And back. Good. And then find your shoulders right over your elbows. Walk your legs backwards so that you end up on the floor. So you're in a traditional Sphinx pose. Separate your feet about as wide as the mat. Toes turned under. And then from here, I want you to hold on to your upper arms. Elbows are directly under your shoulders. And so you're in a lifted position already here. Press through your legs to engage your legs, and then gently pull backward with your elbows to lift your chest up. So when I say that, I'm not moving my elbows. I'm just creating that action. So my back body is activated. My whole legs are activated. And I'm working on kind of juicing up the muscles around the entire back body. If you feel stress in your neck, it's probably because you're overlifting your head. So just put it in a neutral position. One more breath here. And then exhale, let it all go. Now, hands next to your body, lower yourself to the floor. Can you interlace your fingers behind you? We didn't practice that earlier, so your shoulders might feel tight. You can always use a strap, remember? And then from here, I want you to push with your knuckles toward the wall behind you. Push your feet underneath you like you were just doing and lift your chest up. Ideally, your hands are off your body. I'm noticing my body doesn't want to do that right now. Push through your feet, but keep your toes on the floor. Take a nice deep breath. So locust pose. And notice your habit, because I just checked myself with my neck. One more breath here. And then let everything go. Turn your head, let your arms relax. Notice if you can put your ear on the floor. And that could be a maybe. And then turn your head the other way. And notice if you can put that ear on the floor. All right. Go ahead and push yourself up. We're going to do one more here for the shoulders and the arms. So I want you to come down onto your forearms again, interlace your fingers, and tuck your baby finger inside. So you start with your hips up over your knees. Your feet can be relaxed. And as you inhale, you're going to come forward and maybe put your chin over the top of your hand so that you're kind of curled down on your arms. Push through your forearms and move your hips back. So maybe your forehead touches the floor. So you come forward, go over your hands, go back, and reach back with your hips. And so moving in and out of this range helps you to work with those multitude of upper body movements and muscles. And as we did earlier, we were working on the triceps when we were pushing the elbows off the floor. We're back there again. Different range, different pattern. We'll do one more. And back. And then find your elbows and shoulders lined up over each other. You can stay right here or turn your toes under and come to a full forearm plank here. Shoulders are down your back, not up by your ears. Push with your arms, not with your elbows. Push with your back of your hands. Lower belly's lifted. Breathing, and I'm going to put my knees down because I can tell how hard that is for me today. And you keep your knees up if you can for one or two more breaths. And then as you exhale, push yourself back a little bit, come off of your arms, come to tabletop, and then find your way to downward facing dog. You can do it the way we did it first with one foot forward, 1 foot back. And noticing and pressing into that long leg first. Remember, shoulders are away from your ears. And if you're doing that, just switch your feet. You don't have to do it this way. It's just a little variation. And then maybe both feet at the same time if you haven't already. Good. Take one more breath. And then exhale, letting your knees drift to the floor, a little wider than normal. Rest yourself back into child's pose, head on your hands or maybe head on the floor. If you want, head on the floor, hands behind you, on your back maybe. You're always welcome to let them rest on the mat. Okay. So bring yourself around, up and around. We're going to lie down on our back. And do you have your block nearby? Can you grab your block? I want you to put it between your upper thighs, but put it long ways so it's not in your way. Your arms are going to be away from your body, palms down to anchor up your upper body. So not right next to you, a little bit wider. Find a neutral position for your lower back. I like to rock a little bit just to remind myself. And then once you're there, take a breath and exhale, lift your legs up so that they're parallel to your hips, knees over hips and feet in line with knees. So we're just gonna move from one side to the other, and I want you to lift up your right hip. You might push into your right hand a little, squeeze the block and twist over to the left. Now this might not seem like a hard thing, but I want you to keep the block in place. Don't let your legs move forward or back. Inhale, come up. So what typically happens is one knee, the top knee, will move behind the right knee. I want you to keep that exact same position as you go over. And I don't want you to go anywhere if those knees or those legs start to shift. So as I go to my left, I'm really thinking about my right knee moving forward. Inhale, come to center. And as I go to the right, I'm really thinking about the left knee moving forward. So I stay lined up. And inhale, let's do one more each side. Reach right knee, keep your arms and shoulders down. And up, and then other side. Left knee reaches if you're to your right. And then come to center. Now keep your feet where they are and just bring your arms up to the ceiling, shoulders on your back. You can interlace your hands if you like. Squeeze the block and bring your arms behind you. And as you do that, you might notice that things kick in a little differently. Keep reaching the arms, and then maybe you're going to start to reach the legs away from you. Keep squeezing the block. Now, you don't have to do this part at all. You might move an inch. You might end up going all the way down. I'm working my way down there, see how it feels today. Push, push, push. If you're down low like I am, your feet are going to separate and your legs are going to squeeze as you reach your arms. One more breath. And then exhale, feet on the floor, hands come back down, move the block away, and rock side to side. So if you got a lot of juice out of that last movement, it's really, really nice. I'm working a lot with my sacrum here, not allowing my sacrum to do these weird tweaky twists and tilts. And that's what the block was helping you do. All right, left knee to chest, right leg down onto the floor. Give the knee a little bit of a hug. Right knee to the, or right foot to the sky. And I like to think about the right side getting just as long and getting some juice as the left side. So let go with your right hand and take your right hand up along your ear, and now push your right foot and your right hand away from each other, like you're trying to make that whole right side longer. Now you can use your hand this way, or you can put your hand behind your head. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your right knee and your right elbow toward each other. And then you're going to let it go apart. Now, if I'm doing it with my hand behind my head, I'm going to reach to my outer ankle and reach apart. Let's do two more. So either hand behind the head, curling up as the knee comes in, and reach. And one more. Exhale. And inhale. Good. And then just switch your legs out. Hold your right knee. You can hold it with both hands initially. Give your left leg a nice long stretch. Really think about this left side. And then maybe left arm comes over your head, reaching. Holding your right knee in place. Remember, you can put your hand behind your head if you want to do it that way. And as you exhale, knee comes in towards head. Reach with your hand if you're doing it this way with me, and back. Otherwise, you're cradling your head and you're curling your knee in towards your face, reaching it apart. Exhale, curling it in. Inhale, reaching it apart. Last time. And up. Good. Bring both knees to the chest, a little wider than neutral. Give them a little hug. Soften shoulders, soften jaw. Check in with yourself here. And then letting your feet come to the floor. Pausing here for a moment. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Let your arms be out on the floor. So we've done a movement similar to this before, but I've done it in a different foot position. So this one's a new one. You're going to push into your feet and your hips are going to come away from the floor. While your hips are off the floor, your knees are going to come into touch. Your knees come apart, and then you're going to tap the floor but not rest. Lift, knees touch, knees open, tap, lift. So you're just going up and down and in and out with a little bit of resistance, letting your body have this movement pattern, using all the little intricate muscles deep inside the hip socket. And as I think about back bending, because bridges are a little bit of a back bend. They're not a big back bend, but they're a little one. And we've done some in this class today. I'm reminded that back bendings are what they call the vitality of the spine. So when you lose the ability for your spine to move in a little backward arc, you lose this really essential, vital piece of energy flow, blood flow, lymph flow. Everything gets a little stagnant. And when I think about that, I think about that being an higher vibration idea, like joy, curiosity, right? I'm trying to bring some life and vitality to my spine, because most practitioners will say, once the spine starts to get wonky, the whole rest of the body's very unhappy. And so it's really nice to go, oh, how can I simply now, it doesn't have to be super hard, how can I bring this vitality to the spine so that I feel more alive, more joyful, more at ease? And when I think about that, I can feel this little inner smile. One of my teachers years ago used to teach a meditation called the smile of the heart. And so go back to that vision that you had earlier today. What brings you joy? What when you bring to your mind's eye makes you have a little inner heart smile? And no, I didn't forget that you're doing this action. One more. And then pause at the bottom and let yourself rest. Try not to twist back and forth. Just let yourself pause here. All right. Bring your feet back into neutral. Crisscross your right ankle over your left knee. We did this in the beginning. Now we're just going to do it as a stretch. So lift your left leg up, reach through, grab your left thigh. If you want to straighten the left leg up to get yourself a double whammy, you can do that. Make sure your shoulders are down. Try not to overwork your lower back. So I always think about that little space behind my lower back. If I'm pressing my lower back to the floor, I'm just going to work in a non-neutral, non-ideal place. Good. Take one more breath. Release your foot. And then release the cross leg. Stretch that leg up to the ceiling for a minute. Maybe rotate your ankle or flex and point your foot. And then put that leg down and switch your sides. You're always welcome to keep the leg bent. Or if you want, you get the extra stretch. Shoulders are down. So what I think about when I'm doing this stretch is I'm thinking about pushing my leg into my hands, curling my lower back off the floor, and feeling the elongation into my neck. And then maybe I can pull my leg closer to me if I keep that alignment. Really key that we don't just keep doing these things over and over and over again, because as I'm experiencing, compensation patterns are really, really challenging as we get older. Go ahead and release your foot, stretch the left leg up in the air, give it maybe a little circle or a little leg flex and point. And then stretching both legs down, stretching both arms up, nice long extension. Think about your spine being in neutral. Reach your feet longer, like I'm pulling on your ankles. Reach your arms longer, like I'm pulling on your wrists. Take one more breath. And then let yourself relax. Exhale. Let your legs go. Bring your arms down. Letting your palms turn open. Close your eyes. So we're moving into Shavasana from here. If you need to do anything different, please do. I know some of you like to prop your legs up or maybe cover yourself up. And once we get ourselves settled into that Shavasana shape, become aware of the breathing at the nostrils as you inhale and exhale. Follow the breath as you inhale down into the belly where it's expanding, massaging. And follow the breath as it moves from the inner body out through the nostrils. And with each inhale, can you feel a different place of expansion? Like maybe initially you felt it in your stomach, and then maybe you noticed it in your waist or ribs or chest or even back. Where the breath goes, the prana flows, and we want to keep that life force going. Then letting that visualization go, finding a place of silence and stillness. Take a longer and deeper breath. Slowly start to stretch and move. Bring yourself back to the body. As you feel ready, please bend your knees, rolling to a side, pausing there for a moment. And then finally making your way up to a seated position, and we'll close the practice. Bringing your hands together at your heart. Sitting and being with gratitude always for our time together on the mat. Our deep body wisdom and guiding light. May our light always shine brightly, and may we always see the light in each other. Namaste.